is Metal Giant, and welcome to another replay cast. Today we are playing the T-34-3, the Chinese Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank. Playing on Malinovka with top tier matchmaking, pretty good for us, obviously. The one thing you'll notice immediately, so first of all, our entire team is in like 3 squares of the map still. Second of all, their Tier 8s are just significantly better than ours. They have a lot of competitive medium tanks, and a lot of nasty heavy tanks that I don't want to really be dealing with, especially the IS-3. While, if you look at our team, we have Tiger 2, couple of mediums, and some shitty TDs, so we are definitely at a disadvantage right from the start. And games like this is one of probably the main reasons I have not done like any kind of map tactics videos, because they are so general and so meaningless for the most part that I just don't see the point of making one. Like on this map, if you spawn in a T-34-3, like you would say, yeah, you should go hill every time. I mean, why not? But if you look at the matchmaking, if you look at what your team is doing, you definitely should not go to the hill if you want to live longer than freaking 28 seconds. And I have this desire, so I am not there, and I'm gonna be playing from kind of passive positions where I can hopefully spot them without being shit on. And that goes, I guess, just in general about this game. You just need to follow what your team is doing and not overcommit in places where your team cannot support you and so on. That is gonna be an excellent way to die. So if you watch some map tactics and it's like, oh yeah, I should go there because that guy said that I should, you shouldn't. You should look at the map, you should look at the matchmaking. Our fucking Panther already died, one of our elite tier 8 medium players, so you know, this is shaping up to be a great game, especially with nobody being on the hill. I am still playing kinda risky. They might already be on the hill, and if they are, this position isn't really the greatest place to be in. At the same time, I kinda wanna kill that stupid Spice Panzer because that shit is gonna spot us for days, and that obviously isn't all that good for me. This game has all the potential to be like the shittiest game ever. Our team is terribly positioned. In general, this is a bad map for my tank. This gun doesn't really perform well over distance, as you'll see later in this game. And even then, even at medium ranges like this, I can't fucking land my shot. So pretty desperate matchmaking. At least the freaking Spice Panzer died, so we don't have to be worried about being spotted from that side. Hopefully at least I can make this shot count, but even then the Indian Panzer is just gonna rush into the pocket, and it's gonna be a really big pain in the ass to deal with. We don't bend the second shot either. Not sure what happened with that one, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're unlikely to get this third shot. Even though the 5-degree gun depression is nice, it's still like not the best thing in the world. It's definitely better, but then again, this tank, you can work around with the gun depression on this tank like reasonably well. This is something though that can be extremely annoying. Bouncing off tier 7, the sides of tier 7 medium tanks can be quite irritating, to say the least. And like in general, just to put something in perspective, this tank got a fucking massive gun depression buff. The 113 got a massive gun depression buff plus added rate of fire and some accuracy buffs as well. It did get some nerfs, but mostly it was buffed. And the gun depression changes, like, they don't make that much difference. These tanks would be bad with a 5-degree gun depression, yet Wargaming fails to realize that, and the 121 is still like the shittiest medium in the fucking history just because of the 2 degrees. And same go, well, now it's I think 2.5 degrees because, you know, we'll buff it by half a degree because we're a generous company. We're gonna buff the 121 by half a degree of gun depression. But my point of this is that, like, buffing the gun depression made this tank better, without a doubt. I mean, it's a buff, there's no way it could have made it worse, but at the same time, the buff of this is not even nearly making it overpowered or even anything like that. This gun is still complete potato, the tank still has no armor, and yeah. The gun depression helps, I guess. You just have to pay less attention to your surroundings. You can always play around the gun depression in tanks like this because you always only shoot so often, and it's not that hard to position in a position to shoot every 10 seconds. Sure, there were positions that you could just not play, but you kind of learn those positions. Yeah, this is just legit World of Tanks game mechanics here with all those shots that I missed on the Indian Panzer. Now I fucking sniped the CDC and the VK on the other side of the freaking map, because that's how it works. So our super pushing ended up committed kinda to the hill, and so did the Yak Tiger. Then again, they committed so late that it's completely meaningless. They're playing from the bottom of the hill. Our enemies are peeking us. We have no control over that, so that's pretty much as bad as it gets. And also there is people flanking them, like this super pushing, like, well, no, the Indian Panzer is dead. The T-34-3 is still alive though. Really bad shot this, so I'm trying to wait till he turns his turret away, but then decided to just go for the shot I had there, and it was kind of worth it as we did pan it in the end anyway. So KV3 could pan it at this angle, not anymore though, and I should, when I shouldn't, then he bounces off my shot, which is also something that can be really, really irritating in this tank. Just panning lower tier heavy tanks can actually be a pain in the ass, and we're gonna see some more of that later in this game as well. So far pretty stagnant play by me. I'm literally arrived here to the middle, decided that hill is not a place for me to go, and pretty much went back. That's my game so far. Bounced off twice of a fucking tier 7 Russian medium tank, because fuck me, I guess. Now this is pretty shitty. This is an IS-3 that is drove through the fucking water while being in stealth to our side of the map and never gets spotted in the process, which is kind of interesting, but at the same time pretty damn stupid. We're likely to get the kill here. Hopefully nobody else shoots us from the hill, or the IS-3 shoots us. Could have fucked up that shot, but it went pretty straight, so it was a bit unlikely that it would bounce off the IS-3. And at this point, with the IS-3 playing like that, with the super pushing and whatnot maybe coming up on us as well, we kind of have to think our positioning and go into the forest and play a bit more passive than we already are. Don't really have a choice here, to be honest. I just need to make sure that I can get the drops on the VK or on the CDC, maybe shoot the light things in the side, but this really backfires really badly for me. The T-34-3 spots me while not giving me a shot to be able to do damage to him, and at the same time, at least he didn't shoot me, I guess. This Yak-Tiger is pretty good cover for me. It offers a really good protection. The only thing I need to be worried about is that Artie might think that I'm just hiding directly behind him, which I am not, but I'm not even sure if I was spotted. Maybe I'm just spotted this entire time, and maybe they're not even guessing, but it looked kind of like a guess, and both of them kind of shot behind that Yak-Tiger. I should use it when I can, but I should be cautious of not overusing it and just hugging the Yak-Tiger's corpse, as that is just going to get me Artied really badly. Now the VK going forwards here should make this shot, but now when he's looking at me, I have to shoot the top of his turret, which I do, and I land the shot as well. I need to repair my tracks there 100% just to not get murdered, and now it would be really, really crucial to kill the CDC, but I think he's gonna take a position where he's actually in cover, so I need to go instead for the T-71 here. The play here is pretty simple. We need to fucking shoot this guy and then try to rush him down. He probably is gonna be reloading now as he killed the second Artie. There's no stopping here either, because it's extremely likely that the super pushing, the CDC, and the T-43 will have shots on me if I stop here somewhere and try to aim. So I just drive forwards and shoot on the move. There's no other option here, and we do get lucky with the auto aim. I'm not really sure what it is, but it would be nice to get some confirmation. This, like, auto aim just increases your arc. Well, I guess there's some reasons behind why auto aim makes your tank more accurate on the move, because especially when you aim at paper tanks like that, it just aims center mass, which obviously gives you a better chance of hitting him, but that doesn't really feel like it's the only reason why your gun is just so much more accurate when you use auto aim, and mainly it's the reason you see me use it, and not because I'm lazy and can't aim for shit, even though that's one of the reasons as well, of course. The score for a second there was 6-11, now it's 7-11. We should still be able to come back in this game, especially if we manage to pick up the CDC and then maybe go for the super pushing, but the CDC is in cover. Now he is not, but he returned in cover later. And now this is where the gun depression kind of works. I don't have to go all the way over this ridge, even though I still didn't manage to get a shot on before cresting the ridge. 5 degrees isn't that much, but at least it's not so clunky that you're just completely useless for the most part. The super pushing is a terrible angle. I don't really risk to aim that shot fully either there, because of Artie and because of the super pushing and the Oyoroni, that both are probably able to shoot me. Either way, now we should be able to pick up the super pushing. He's still angling terribly, and we do end up doing just that. And now 2 Japanese heavy tanks, and this is where this gun is just in a terrible shape. Those tanks, like in theory, always frontal should be 150, but the penetration drop over range in this game arguably is too high, especially for guns like this that just completely get fucking slaughtered by the range. And in general, like tier 8 with 175 is pretty disgusting, and these are tier 7s and 6s I'm shooting at, these not even fucking tier 8s. And well, I wouldn't mind shooting ammo that was actually balanced at them. I do kind of not want to shoot heat at them if I can avoid it, but I don't think there's actually any way for me to do that, so we just have to pretty much load heat. Now I'm just, you know, trying out. I mean, he has 150 armor. If I roll okay on penetration, I should still be able to pan him if I roll like closer to 190 with my penetration roll. I'm probably gonna pen him no matter what the range or the angle is, but I bounce 2 and that's enough fucking around. Let's just load heat and kill him before either Artie kills me or he kills the Ferdinand or the Artie kills the Ferdinand. Japanese heavy tanks is another extremely sad and failed game mechanic that Wargaming introduced in 2015 among with many other shitty fucking things that they introduced this year. Absolutely fucking disgusting how those tanks work. It's like literally you pay Wargaming money by buying gold shells, so you bounce off and that's your only place. I can't use my view range advantage on that fucker at all because I just can't pen him at any kind of range, and as long as I don't have that advantage, where's the point of playing a medium tank, right? I mean, I could try to flank him, but it's Malinovka. It's like, if I try to flank him, I'm still gonna get spotted and shit on by Artie, and those two work really badly together to just shit on me. I'm just taking this position just because I can clearly see the cap circle from here, and the Oi will have to go into the cap if he wants to win this. There's no real other chance for him unless the Ferdinand goes and supports him. This AP shot should be able to do the job, but you know, potato accuracy is gonna be potato. Two greatest decisions of Wargaming in 2015 working great together here. Let's nerf accuracy and let's fucking put in Japanese heavy tanks. I mean, it's gonna do so much good for the game. Somehow managed to pen that AP shot. I guess that side armor wasn't angled enough there, and now we should be able to pick this shit up, I could also use HE here, but he still has way too much health. I would actually need to shoot him at least twice to fucking pen him there, which I don't really want to do. Pushed down the tree, so I'm just gonna counter that by moving the opposite direction. Hopefully he doesn't try to blind shoot me. We do spot him, and there's nothing much he can do. And even though, like, I really tried to kill him with AP, it still feels like shit to shoot fucking heat at tier 6 heavy tanks. Anyways. 3 minutes left on the clock. It's extremely likely that I'll be able to win this game. The one thing I know about that tier 5 shitty Artie is that it runs out of ammo, so that guy is probably fucking sitting on the hill now, so killing him and the rest of his team is close to impossible at this time. And if the Ferdinand isn't AFK, killing the Ferdinand alone in this thing is gonna be kinda tricky. Even though Ferdinand is terrible and I can track him and probably outspot him and shit on him in general, the second I get spotted, the big Artie is gonna be on me as well, and the Ferdinand's gun can pretty much slice through the front of my turret like nothing. And what else can obviously fuck me here is my own gun, and spoiler alert, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So the biggest fucking Artie pretty much in the entire game, definitely a tier 8. I didn't name it fully. Maybe I should have, but like missing these shots should not happen. Like I had like a 75 to 80% chance to hit and I missed it, and now we get the Ferdinand spotted, and at this point I don't really realize how responsive he is to things. Again, another miss, like this time it was like 60% chance to hit or so, and we get fucked once again. So Artie lives on full health while we do absolutely nothing there. That was the big Artie firing there, but at this point, the Russian Artie camo is too good for my Chinese tank to detect, so we have to just go for the Ferdinand instead. I'm still not sure how aware of things he is, so I'm just gonna try to flank him here and see if how responsive he's gonna be to this. Excellent fucking camo mechanic here, like super camo Ferdinand. At the same time, I mean, he is AFK, so I guess it makes sense to some extent. He's not moving or doing anything really. And now this is pretty simple. The Ferdinand is AFK, we just take cover behind him so the Artie doesn't fucking shit on us. And it's actually quite likely that the Artie is gonna kill his own Ferdinand and maybe give us a chance to win this, and that's exactly what happens. Shoots him for 700 damage, and now we can afford to aim this shot all day because we know that there's no Ferdinands that might or might not shoot me. Either way though, I don't think I would have won this game if I hit the 2 Artie shots. I just needed the Artie to shoot the Ferdinand there pretty much in order to even kill him in time, and there's still the 1 Artie left, so I don't think it would have really mattered. It still was extremely frustrating at the time it happened because we could have easily just lost this as well if the Artie landed one of those shots with my 2 misses, but either way, it's gonna be a draw. I'm not gonna get to the last Artie, so no epic carry or comeback for me. We didn't lose, and I did make it as close as I could. So here is the end plate. Obviously a draw. Ace Tanker, 2901 experience earned, Top Gun, High Caliber, and a Lucky Medal. 6104 damage done and 810 assisted. Probably the most damage ever done in the T-34-3, almost 100%, and probably the highest experience in a draw / defeat that I ever gotten as well. But we were a minute or 2 short to maybe catch the Artie and win the game there, but that sadly didn't happen. So, anyways, my general thoughts on the T-34-3 has not changed after the buff at all. I mean, sure, the tank is slightly better now, but it is just too expensive for what it is. It costs almost the same price as a FCM50T. It's much more expensive than tanks like the CDC-88 and the mods as well, so I cannot really see how this tank is a good value per money, but as a derpy tier 8, you can have some fun with it. It's just that it costs too much for that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.